What if using Bitcoin was as easy as using Venmo, without needing a bank, an account, or asking anyone for permission? That's not a dream. That's Misty Breez, a new kind of wallet that makes Bitcoin feel like it just works. No signups, no confusing setups. You install it and boom, you're ready to send and receive real Bitcoin. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get started in minutes. You'll learn how to set up your wallet, send and receive Bitcoin instantly, and even recover it if you lose your phone. And by the end, you'll know how this sleek little app is doing some seriously smart stuff behind the scenes so you don't have to. Let's make Bitcoin simple and let's start right now. I'm Ben with the BTC Sessions. This is your daily session. Are you new to Bitcoin? Have you been stacking for years? Either way, this tutorial is for you. And that's because Misty Breez isn't just simple, it's smart. I'm going to show you exactly how to use it step by step. No technical knowledge, no background enlightening required. You don't need to know any of that. The only thing you need is a way to buy Bitcoin. For our example today, we're going to be using Bitcoin Well. It's fast, simple, Bitcoin only, available in Canada and the US, but use whatever works best where you are. Here's what's coming. We're going to set up your wallet, receive Bitcoin in a variety of different ways, and send it just as easily. We're also going to know exactly how to recover everything if your phone disappears. And if you stick around to the end, you'll get a quick peek under the hood to see how Misty Breez is doing all the heavy lifting for you. Let's get into it. So here I am in my Android app store. If you're on iOS, you will also have access to Misty Breez. Now, at the time of recording this video, Misty Breez is still early access, meaning that they're still testing things and making the app better. Now, I will say if you do have trouble finding it, just head over to breeze.technology/Misty and you'll have direct links there to your app store where you can download it. Either way, I've already downloaded and installed Misty Breez on my phone here, and I'm simply going to tap on the app to open it up and get started. It's going to be a quick setup process, and then we'll be good to go. So our intro screen here, we have two options, Let's Breeze or Restore. Restore would be recovering a lost wallet if we deleted the app or lost our phone, and Let's Breeze will get us started with a brand new wallet. So we're going to choose that to start. Now it says this is in beta right now. You may not have this warning by the time you watch this video. So we'll just hit I understand and we'll hit continue. Now, believe it or not, our wallet is already set up. We can already use it. However, you'll notice that there's a little exclamation point in the top right-hand corner, and that is for us to back up our wallet so that, again, if we delete the app or lose our phone, we still have access to any of the funds on it through the recovery process that we saw the button for just a second ago. So I'm going to tap this exclamation point in the top right. And it says, you will be shown a list of words. Write down these words and store them in a safe place. Without these words, you won't be able to restore from backup and your funds will be lost. I click I understand and I'm going to hit next. Now I'm going to say here, these 12 words are a copy of the keys to your money. It's very important that you keep them safe. You want to write them down physically and put them in a safe place. Again, if anybody gets a hold of these, you can think of it just like a key to your house. If somebody has your house key, they can access what it unlocks, which is the contents of your house. This is the key to your wallet. Somebody with that key can unlock and use and take the contents of your wallet. So keep it safe and keep it secret. Let's hit next. So this gives me 12 English words here on the screen. You can see they're in order. It's important that you write them down all in the order that you see. Make sure you're going from left to right here and you're writing them all down correctly. Double check your work. And on the next screen, we're going to confirm a few of the words randomly selected to make sure that we've done it right. So we'll jump ahead to once I've written down these words. Now that I'm done, I'll hit next. And it wants to know word 1, 7, and 10. So I'm going to just tap in those fields and type out the corresponding words based on what I've written here. With that done, I'll hit verify. And there we go. So we've now backed up our wallet, and should anything happen, we can use those words once again to gain access. And we'll go through that process momentarily. But in the meantime, let's get a quick rundown of the layout in front of us. Up top, we've got a balance and it says sats. Now, if you're new to Bitcoin, you're going to be wondering what those are. There are 100 million sats in a Bitcoin. You can think of it like pennies to a dollar. There's smaller denominations. Over time, those smaller denominations with Bitcoin, as it increases in value, are much more useful. And in my opinion, I prefer to look at sats as opposed to full Bitcoin, which would typically be a decimal because it's such a large amount. Either way, we've got a balance up top, which we can tap on, and we can toggle between seeing full Bitcoin or sats or just blanking out the number so nobody can look over our shoulder and see our balance. Down below, there's a big empty field here. This is where our prior transactions will go once we start sending and receiving funds. Down at the bottom, we have a send and a receive button, pretty self-explanatory. And in the middle, there's a QR code button, which will open our camera and allow us to scan QR codes, which is commonly used if you are sending to somebody on another phone in front of you, or maybe paying to a website that's on a screen in front of you. Up in the top left, there's a sandwich board menu. If I tap on that, we have a username and a little picture up top. We also have a general balance. Of course, there's nothing yet because we haven't done anything. And then down below, we have some preferences. We have fiat currencies, so setting your local currency. This one, I believe, defaults to US dollars, but if you click in here, you've got some options. In fact, it shows a few. I'm just going to get rid of the ones that I don't have any use for, and we'll just set it to US dollars. We'll go back here, take a look at that menu again. We've got security and backup as well. And this allows us to create a PIN to protect our wallet. And we can also go back and view our backup phrase again if we want to double check what we've written down. So going back here, that's pretty much it. We're ready to use this wallet. There's one other thing that I want to show you that you can customize, and that is something called your Lightning address. It looks like an email address, but for money. And the way you can customize that is going in, hitting receive. I'm going to hit allow for notifications here. Now it says your Lightning address is disabled because notifications are not allowed in this app. Tap here to enable them. All right. And so with the notifications enabled, it will give me a default Lightning address, which is limefox@breeze.fun. If I want to change that and customize it, I can click on customize address, and as long as it's not taken, I can customize it to whatever I want. I'm going to leave that for this example, but just know you can customize that like you would with an email address. And other than that, we are all set up. We're ready to go. Let's learn how to receive payments into this wallet from an exchange first, and then in a couple other ways. Bitcoin Well is the best place to be buying and selling Bitcoin in Canada and the US. And now with Bitcoin Well Infinite, it's also the best place to be making large buys at their OTC desk of over $50,000. Their white glove service gives you fast transactions, no slippage, and the lowest fees. You can scan the QR code on the screen or simply head to bitcoinwell.com/BTC sessions to sign up today. And you can share your own personalized referral link to earn commissions. Looking for a simple and secure way to manage your Bitcoin on mobile? Aqua Wallet has you covered. It's user-friendly and puts you in full control of your Bitcoin with secure self-custody. Aqua also supports Lightning and Liquid Network, making fast, cheap Bitcoin payments and asset transfers easier than ever. Plus, it even supports stablecoins, giving you ultimate flexibility. Built on open source code, Aqua is transparent, trustworthy, and perfect for beginner and pros alike. Ready to upgrade your Bitcoin experience? Click the link in the show notes or scan the QR code on the screen now to download Aqua Wallet today. All right, so here I am on Bitcoin Well. Again, awesome place to buy Bitcoin in Canada and the US, but find something that works for you in your local jurisdiction. The way that Bitcoin Well works is actually the moment that I send them regular money, they will send directly to my Bitcoin wallet. They never hold my Bitcoin for me. So I just need to give them a destination address of where to send it to in advance. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to hit buy Bitcoin. And this just gives me a handy little calculator so I can type in if I want to send a certain amount, how much Bitcoin will I be getting back? Down below that, it gives me an option for my wallet. And it does prompt me to give a Bitcoin wallet when you set up the account, but you can always add more over time or switch your wallet where you want it to send to. So I'm going to do that now. There's a little drop down arrow and it gives me the option to add a wallet. And it also specifies, do you want on-chain or Lightning? Now, Breez or Misty Breez is a Lightning wallet, and we have a Lightning address that we can send to. So we're actually going to use that in this example. So I'm going to hit Lightning, and then I'm going to hit the drop-down arrow and hit Add Wallet. We'll call this Misty Breez, and then we need a Lightning address. So we're going to jump back over to our wallet here to Misty Breez, and I'm going to hit Receive. And then I'm going to copy right here, limefox@breeze.fun. We'll jump back over to our exchange and we'll paste that in. There we go. We're going to hit add. And this is now our receiving address when we send money to Bitcoin Well. If we go out to the Buy Bitcoin tab here again, and we go to Lightning, we'll specify our Misty Breez address. That's where we want it to send to. And then it gives me some options on how to send money traditionally through the banking system to Bitcoin Well. As soon as they receive it, I'll get a payment into my wallet. So we're going to jump ahead. I'm not going to show my personal banking information in this video, but just know I'm sending a traditional payment through Bitcoin Well, and then I'll get Bitcoin into my wallet. So let's jump ahead and see what that looks like in our wallet. All right, jumping back over to our wallet, what we see is a notification that says a moment ago we received a transaction and it is pending. It doesn't take very long to be confirmed. And then we'll see our balance up top reflect that change. And after a minute, we can see the balance reflected up top. Everything is settled. I see a total of 55,116 sats, which is around $51.69 in US dollars. And so we've now received, and everything, this is now spendable, but I want to show how to receive in a couple different ways. So we're going to also receive a Lightning transaction, and we're going to do it via a Lightning invoice. So let's take a look at that. We're going to go down to the bottom. We're going to hit receive. And again, this gives us our default, just general limefox@breeze.fun, our Lightning address. But we may want to specify an amount, and we can do so by clicking in the top right, the little edit button, and we can give a specific amount. For this example, we'll say, I don't know, let's do 8,000 sats, okay? And then we'll give it a description. We'll just call it test, whatever we want there, and we're going to hit create. This now gives us a new QR code, and that QR code, it has the amount information added into it. Furthermore, there's a copy button where we can copy a string of text, which is known as an invoice, and we can send that via text to anybody, and they can just paste it into their wallet app and send it directly to us. I'm going to show the second example, since we know what scanning a QR code would look like. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hit the copy button that copies the invoice information, and we're going to pretend that we just sent it over to somebody else, and we're going to act as them for a moment. So I'm going to go out of this wallet. We'll pretend to be another person with another Bitcoin Lightning wallet. What they would do is they would hit the send button, and they would simply hit the paste button to paste in the information that we provided to them. It gives them a summary of, hey, you're looking to send 8,000 sats to this person. Does that look okay? They would just hit the send button and off it would go. And so once that successfully sends, on the other end, I should see a receive notification in my wallet. So we can see payment was sent. Let's jump over to Misty Breez. So we're going to hit close. And we can see an incoming payment. It does say pending again, but let's tap on it and take a look at some of the details. It says that we've got an amount coming in, and then we have a fee that was paid. And this has to do with what's going on in the background, which we'll explore towards the end of the video. Either way, we have all the information we need, and this should be added to our total balance in just a moment. Just moments later, we can see it's no longer pending and our balance up top has been adjusted. CoinKite has been in the game for years, creating hands down the best and most secure hardware when it comes to securing your Bitcoin. The Cold Card Q is an absolute powerhouse and my daily driver, and it's ideal for newcomers and advanced users alike. The Tap Signer gives you a low-cost, user-friendly option for those just getting started or for convenience when traveling. You can head to coinkite.com and use code BTC Sessions for discounts, or simply scan the QR code on the screen to get started right away. Securing your Bitcoin doesn't have to be complicated or invasive. With Nunchuck's Honey Badger plan, you get state-of-the-art multisig with built-in inheritance planning and no KYC required. Nunchuck is trusted by users to secure billions of dollars in Bitcoin. The Honey Badger plan offers 204 assisted multisig, guiding you step-by-step on mobile or desktop. It works seamlessly with hardware wallets like Tap Signer, Cold Card, Jade, and plenty of others, so you're always in control. Plus, with non-KYC inheritance planning, you can ensure your Bitcoin goes to your loved ones. No private info needed. Take control of your Bitcoin today. Click the link in the show notes or scan the QR code on the screen to check out the Honey Badger plan. Debify is the best and easiest way to borrow against your Bitcoin in a non-custodial way. Funds are held in a multi-sig escrow where you hold a key, and the platform allows for excellent hardware like the Cold Card Mark IV and the Q. You have access to flexible conditions, the best rates, and institutional-grade liquidity. If you're looking to make use of your capital, don't sell your Bitcoin, borrow against it. You can head over to debify.com to check them out, or simply scan the QR code on the screen. Now we're going to take a look at one other way to receive funds here in the wallet. And this would be for those of you that maybe have Bitcoin in a regular Bitcoin wallet, but want to make it easily spendable via the Lightning Network by shifting it from another wallet, perhaps hardware that you have in savings, and moving it into Misty Breez. How do you do that? Well, really simple. We're going to go down to the bottom right and hit receive. And instead of using the Lightning option, we're going to click down and we're going to get a regular Bitcoin address. It requests that you enter a specific amount that you're going to receive. Now, this may actually change in the future. It would be really cool to see the ability to just send any amount, any regular Bitcoin amount, and receive it and have it instantly available. But for now, you have to specify an amount. So I'm going to put in 100,000 sats. I'll give it a description. I'll just call it test 2. And I'm going to hit create. And so what this does is it gives me, again, a QR code that has the amount that I'm expecting encoded into it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this information and I'm going to send it over. Now it does let me know a fee of 1,506 sats will be applied to this invoice. Keep Breez open until the payment is completed. So what this is doing, again, in the background, there's some more nuance to it, and there's a reason for that fee, which we're going to explain in this section where we break down how Misty Breez works in the background. Either way, I've got the info I need, and I'm going to show you really quick just a regular Bitcoin wallet that we're going to be using here. I'm going to copy this information. I'm going to jump over to another Bitcoin wallet, or I could scan it. Actually, let's do that. I'm going to use my QR code scanner here in Sparrow, and I'm just going to open up my camera and scan the QR code. There we go. So this gives us everything we need to know right in the wallet. I'm sending this Bitcoin address. This is how much we need to send. And then it's just on me to set my transaction fee. Either way, we'll send that off. By the way, if you're curious about this other Bitcoin wallet, it's called Sparrow. I'll link to it in the show notes if you want to learn more. But don't worry if it looks a little complex. This is kind of a power user thing that you can explore later at your own discretion. Either way, off this transaction will send, and we'll jump over to Misty Breez, which once it has been sent, to see what the wallet looks like. So off it goes. Let's jump back over. And again, we'll just wait for a second to see it pop in. From this screen, I'm just going to hit the back button. And we can see a Bitcoin transfer coming in. Again, it's pending. And if I tap on it, I can see the specified fee that they let me know would happen with a regular Bitcoin transfer. But either way, we know that our transfer is coming in, and we'll see it reflected in the balance in just a moment. And after a few minutes, we can see everything's updated, including our balance up top, and it no longer says pending. So now we've gone through 3 different methods of receiving Bitcoin: to our Lightning address, to a Lightning invoice, and as a regular on-chain Bitcoin transaction. Up next, we're going to discover how to do the same thing on the way out with sending. So first off, let's send to a Lightning address, and I'm going to grab one from the other wallet that we interacted with. We'll go back out. Let's open up Wallet of Satoshi here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to choose receive. So this would be something that was presented to me either in the form of a QR code or as this string down below, BTC sessions at walletofsatoshi.com. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to copy that information here, the Lightning address. We'll jump over to Misty Breez and we're going to choose to send. So on this screen, we have options. It says we can paste an invoice, Lightning address, or Bitcoin address. We're starting with our Lightning address that we just copied, and then we're going to hit next. Now it says, how much do you want to send? There's a description that it auto fills for us. So we'll just adjust this amount. Let's do 2,000 sats and we'll hit next. We do have the option to hit use all funds, but we'll just do what we've specified. So it says you're sending this amount. The fee is going to be 62 sats, and this is where it's going. There's the description. I'll hit send. Payment is sent. Let's double check on that in Wallet of Satoshi. And there we go. There's our notification. It has come through. We've received the money. Easy enough. Now let's try sending to a Lightning invoice. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hit receive here, and we'll do the amount option to create an actual invoice. How much do we want to receive? We'll say $5 worth, which is just over 5,000 sats, and we'll generate an invoice. So again, there's a QR code that we could scan. We can also hit copy and copy over that Lightning invoice. Let's jump back to Misty Breez and see what sending to an invoice looks like. We'll hit send. We will paste the information that we have, and we'll hit next. This fills everything that we need. Our sat amount, we're going to be paying a fee of 52 sats. We'll hit send, and off it should go. All right, we see payment sent here, and we're going to jump over to Wallet of Satoshi to make sure it did work. And there's the payment received. Worked like a charm. Let's try our final method of paying. We're going to send to a regular Bitcoin address, and we're going to grab it from that other desktop wallet I was using before. So I'm just going to go to our receive screen. We've got a Bitcoin address right here and right here. I'm just going to scan the QR code with Misty Breez, and let's make sure we know how to do that. That is just the button down in the middle here to scan. We'll approve that we want to use the camera, so that opens it up. And I'll flip over to the next screen so I can scan with my phone what's on the screen there. And it autofills the address that I've just scanned. It's a good idea to always eyeball it, make sure the first and the last few digits are the same. I did so it looks good to me. And then it says, how much do you want to send? Again, it does specify that it wants us to send a specific threshold of at least 25,000 sats because it is an on-chain payment, and fees can sometimes eat up a little too much of that if you're sending a certain way. Again, we'll get into that later with the details. But for this one, I'm going to send over 50,000 sats. Okay, so I'll hit the check mark in the bottom and we'll choose next. Now, this allows me to choose how fast I want this to go through. Is it super urgent or can I wait a little bit? And there's 3 tabs: economy, regular, and priority. So I can see here that the service fee of what's going on in the background, basically it's going to end up costing me a couple of bucks to send this off if I want to do it. So, I mean, not even actually, it's about $1.20. Okay. Well, I'm okay with that for this example. So I'm going to hit confirm. It's going to process the payment. Off it goes. It says pending here. Let's jump over to the desktop and see if we get a notification popping up here in a moment. We'll just go over to the main screen. And there's a notification of a transaction coming into the wallet. I can see it right here for 50,000 sats. So that has gone off no problem. And we're all set. So we've now been able to send, again, in 3 different methods, to a Lightning address, to a Lightning invoice, and to a regular Bitcoin address. We're now going to take a look at recovering our wallet if we accidentally delete the app, or if we need to move phones, or our phone gets damaged, whatever the reason may be. We're going to take a look at how our 12 backup words, our recovery words, or our seed phrase can be utilized to gain access to our funds yet again. So I'm going to do something a little crazy. Even though there's still a balance in the wallet, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to uninstall Misty Breez. I'm going to hit OK. We're going to jump ahead. I'm going to reinstall it, and we'll take a look at our recovery process. With the app reinstalled, I'll open it up again. We're going to get our intro screen that we've seen prior. And we're going to choose Restore down at the bottom this time. This gives us the opportunity to enter in our words one at a time, which I'll do now. And with all of the words entered, I'll hit Restore. And here we are. We're bumped back into our wallet. Our entire wallet history is there, as well as our balance, which we can now use yet again. So, how does this thing actually work? Because let's be honest, a lot of Bitcoin wallets make you pick Lightning or on-chain. Is your address compatible? Are your channels funded? It can be confusing even for experienced users. Misty Breez is attempting to fix that. When you install the app, you get one unified balance, and it just works. Send over Lightning? Sure. Receive on-chain? Easy. Send someone a Lightning address payment? No problem. Behind the scenes, Misty Breez uses the Liquid network, a fast Bitcoin-based sidechain that quietly handles the heavy lifting. It manages all the swaps between Lightning, Liquid, and on-chain. No channels, no settings, no stress. Now, to be clear, some payments may wait for a confirmation, especially if you're receiving an on-chain payment and wanting to get it into your Misty Breez wallet. But once that clears, you're good to go. There is a couple trade-offs, though. This wallet isn't built for micropayments. If you're trying to zap somebody less than 100 sats, the fees can be uneconomical given it's actually using the Liquid network. It's also not quite as snappy as regular Lightning payments, given that the swaps in the background can take a few minutes more to execute. But for anything meaningful, a few dollars, a lunch, a payback, it's smooth, fast, and it just works. And that's what makes Misty Breez such a game changer. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You didn't just install an app, you learned a skill that gives you real-world control over your money. You now know how to set up a self-custodial wallet, receive Bitcoin over Lightning or on-chain, send payments without thinking about compatibility, and understand the tech that makes it all work. That's not beginner stuff, that's sovereignty. But don't stop here. Check the links below for more next steps. A deep dive into Sparrow Wallet that we took a look at, a full tutorial on Bitcoin Well, and a few other wallets that do cool things in different ways. Each one will give you a new piece of the puzzle. The more you explore, the more confident you'll get. The Bitcoin rabbit hole goes deep. Don't you want to see what more it has to offer? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed that tutorial, make sure you smash that like button. Also, if you need some additional one-on-one help and hand-holding with your Bitcoin journey, reach out to my team over at bitcoinmentor.io, where we have incredible educators that can make sure that you and your Bitcoin setup are rock solid. Until next time, keep stacking sats, keep stacking skills. I'm Ben with the BTC Sessions. This was your daily session.